Good morning, everybody, and welcome into the Spotlight Omaha podcast, where we take you around the city of Omaha, introduce you to local business owners, influential figures, and people who are making a difference in our community. Today, we are brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. Pixel Fire Marketing is a locally owned marketing firm that specializes in website design, creating social media ads, and engaging your business online. For more details, check out pixelfiremarketing.com today. Today, I'm joined by the Google gal of Pixel Fire Marketing, Courtney Murdoch, who joins us. Courtney, thank you very much for joining us inside the Pyramid Contractor Studio today.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
I want to talk about Google Business Profiles and the benefits of updating your basically your business's presence online. Why is it so important to be able to have correct representation of your company on Google in today's market?
You need to think about your Google Business Profile as like your front door. Okay, so you want to get people to your front door, whether you're a service-based business or you do actually have a brick and mortar. Your Google Business Profile is how people find you. So think about how people Google. So up in the search bar, if they're going to search for chiropractor near me, marketing near me, insurance company near me, pizza near me, burritos near me, everybody does it. So
Sure.
When they're searching for that, what comes up is different businesses, and it's the different Google Business Profiles. So that's why it's so important. It is so important that if you do have a new business and you do have some kind of a footprint on the internet, whether you have a website, even if you don't have a website, you just have a Facebook page right now, and you do not have a Google Business Profile yet, some people are like, oh, yep, haven't done that yet. I don't need to worry about it. Well, Google will make one for you. That's how important it is. So if you have any kind of a footprint on the internet, Google will make one for you because Google wants to be the number one knower of everything, right? So they want people to Google. Everything's going to be Googled. So That's why it's so important that you have a Google Business Profile.
What are some of the common misconceptions you hear from people when you take over when they give you the ability to take over their Google Business Profile, and some things that you hear often? Oh, I didn't know that, or I didn't know I could achieve that through building my Google Business Profile. What are some of the common misconceptions about people and their profile?
There's many. So a lot of people are like, oh, well, I didn't know I had one, right? Like I just talked about. Okay. So some people will say, well, I don't know. I had one. I used to know how to get into it, but I don't know how to get back into it now. Right. So it's running on its own, but the owner is not responding with it. So that's an issue. Some people are like, yeah, I have one, but it's not verified. And that's another issue. So, and people want to get it verified. People are trying to get it verified, and some people just give up because Google makes it difficult sometimes. So that's another thing where I can step in and help. If you've done the verification video, because they used to do the postcard. Remember that, Jimmy?
Yeah, I do.
Postcard, and then you can send in pictures, and now they've totally gone away with that. The only way you can get verified is by a video. Now, a tip. Anybody trying to get verified who hasn't had success, a tip is you have to make sure to keep your Wi-Fi off when you're doing the video on your phone. So that is the biggest thing that I see businesses have an issue with. They're like, oh, I tried it without having the Wi-Fi on and it worked perfectly. So I don't know why Google doesn't tell you that up front, but
why does that cause an issue?
Because they want to see where you're at. The geotagging, they want to see exactly where you're at. So if you are verifying an address, right, they want to make sure you are at that address. So
if somebody is one of those people that's like, oh, I had this password and I don't remember what it is, and they have maybe a previous email attached to it, how difficult is it to kind of overcome that and get past that process when we're talking about taking ownership of your Google Business Profile?
It's pretty easy for me. I can help you with that. So I can't get access to it, but I can coach you through it. So I have a way to look it up, and I can see who has access to it. I'm able to see the first two letters of the email address, so I can give you a clue. Say,
Sure.
Okay, so it's JA. Do you know anybody in your business, anybody, they're like, oh yeah, that's that other email I had. I have ran across some people that they had ex-employees, past employees set up their profile, and they still have access to it, and they are the only ones. That's an issue. So um, it's easy. We can get you reconnected, but if somebody does have ownership of it, so there, the other thing that Google's done is they've created a hierarchy of ownership now. So you have a primary owner, and then a manager. So each of those has different um, authority. So primary owner, of course, should be the person who owns the business, and then you can add anybody as an owner, but there can, of course, only be one primary owner. You can then have as many owners as you want, and then as many managers as you want. If someone is a primary owner, they can kick anyone else off that page. So
We often see pictures being represented on Google business profiles, but some profiles don't have them. What are the benefits to having the Google 360 addition to your Google business profile? Why should people consider it?
Yep. So pictures are very important. As far as content, the way Google ranks it is the Google 360 tour is number one for content. Number two is videos, and number three is still photos. So that's why I think every business that's a brick and mortar should have a Google 360 tour. That's where the Google Streetcar drops you off out front, and then I come in, do photos. They're actually 360s from the parking lot to the front door and then inside. So it's basically a virtual tour of your property, of your business. What that does is it gives you organic SEO. So all of this helps with your local SEO. So
for anybody that may not know, can you explain what SEO is?
Sure. Search engine optimization.
And what does that mean?
So that means anybody who searches for you.
Sure.
So, and how we can optimize you. So we have two ways of looking at it. You've got the old way, which was really the only way you could do this was on-site SEO. So that means your website, and you had to use keywords, all these, things behind the scenes that would make your website keyword friendly. You had to bid on words. I mean, if you want to do on-site SEO and pay for it, it's a good $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month. Local SEO, which is how we can work with your Google business profile, that Google business profiles are free. So that's why everyone should have one.
If somebody is considering, maybe they're currently working with a different, whether it be a franchisee or somebody that may be working with a previous company that was handling it that no longer is, what are the different, how does Pixel Fire Marketing kind of set itself aside from the competition, or maybe relieve some of the pressure of doing it yourself?
Yes. So, of course, doing it yourself can be hard, just like any of your marketing, social media, ads, all of that. So we take that pressure off of you. Now, if you are a franchisee, we are working a lot more with franchisees, and we have seen that franchises kind of help or have a marketing company that they have set the franchisee up with. So, in this last year and a half, I have learned so much about the Google business profile. I feel like I've cracked the code. So I really think that we know a lot about it. Of course, every day I'm learning, because every day Google puts another roadblock in front of me, tries to. So we can really help. And if I don't know the answer, I will find out. And if you get, unverified, get suspended, any of these things, if you have missing reviews, if your map isn't correct, all of these issues, I can actually help.
We're catching up with Courtney Murdoch, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing, here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing inside the Pyramid Contractor Studio. You're an entrepreneur yourself. Not only do you work with Pixel Fire Marketing, you have two separate businesses as well. Can you kind of give us a little bit of an insight on what else you do outside of Pixel Fire Marketing, and does it help you with what you do inside of Pixel Fire Marketing?
Yes, it most certainly does, because I understand the business owner. I understand the entrepreneur, because I am one. I have a real estate marketing company out in LA. I moved here from Los Angeles. I'm originally from Nebraska. I lived in Kearney, then moved down to Kansas, then headed out to LA. So I was there 20 years and started a photography business for real estate. So if you think about 20 years ago, virtual tours weren't even a thing. And we
Yeah.
were one of the first to do virtual tours in homes. So did the marketing. So I moved here 4 years ago, and I am still running my business back in LA. I have my team of photographers there, and I'm running it all from here. So when I moved here, I right before I moved here in 2019, I did get Google certified. So I'm a Google certified photographer. And that's when I started doing the Google 360 tours. So in moving here, that's when I decided, actually, I lived in Kearney. I've never lived in Omaha. So I lived by Google Maps.
Yeah.
That's the only way I could get around and to find new places, right? I need a dentist. I loved fajitas before I moved here. I need to find the best fajita in town, right? Or near me.
Do you have a take?
I
Do
am
you have
doing
a
all
take on
these
who
searches.
do you have a take on who has the best fajita?
Well, it's
For,
changed for me, but who
free,
does?
free plug for whoever this is.
Well, you know what? It depends on what kind you like. It's different here than LA. LA fajitas are different than here. So
Sure.
anyway, I was going around trying to find all these places, and the Google Maps were wrong in some places, and it frustrated me because I don't know. I mean, I wanted a French dip. Okay, I found best. I searched for, I think, best French dip in Omaha. It sent me to Charleston's.
Okay.
I live in Westo. It sent me to 72nd and Dodge. Right.
Right.
I'm like, wait a minute. I drove right by on Dodge, the other Charleston's. So I'm like, okay. So I then go, I see a need here. I think I could help these people. So that's when I started doing the Google 360 tours here. I opened up my own company called Be Seen Omaha. And then I was networking. And that's when I met Dan, the owner of Pixelfire, one of the owners. And he and I struck up a couple conversations, and it was like, yeah, we need to be working together. So, and I love it. I absolutely love it because now I can help more industries than just real estate agents. So I love marketing.
When you hear when you pick up a new client and somebody is working with Pixelfire Marketing and deciding to take the leap and kind of hand off the Google Business Profile and the social media marketing website design to somebody that is not necessarily within the company, what are some of the positives that you hear sooner rather than later by somebody that has an updated Google Business Profile from what they were working with before? What are some of the net positives that you hear right out of the gate?
Right out of the gate. I wish I would have done this sooner. Wish I knew, because a lot of the people, so we do a Google Business Profile audit, and that's where I look at everything, and a lot of people aren't even verified. I ran into one person that hadn't even claimed it yet. So people just give up. They don't think that they can actually do anything when it comes to Google. So they're happy that we can get results. And as far as the other marketing websites, it's a big deal. Like we have one client that he made his own website, right? And he wanted to take his business to the next level. And so we talked. I said, hey, let's do it. So we did a custom site for him. And we like to really get in, like we become partners. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm not just like, hey, let's do your website and see you later, right? No, we're going to manage it. We're partners with you. And he had a money goal. He's like, this is what I did last year. This is what I want to do this year. And he has met his goal in August.
I think anytime somebody starts looking at marketing or taking a different approach to marketing, the first kind of thing in their mind is return on investment. What do you tell people about ROI when we're talking about, and obviously there's different phases to everything that you and Pixelfire Marketing do, but what does that conversation sound like from your end?
ROI, it's that's a hard question to answer.
Yeah, because it's different for everybody, right?
Yeah. So it's for every industry, it's different, but it's also, we want to help you with the awareness. So that's what I like about what we do at Pixelfire is we actually sit down with you and we actually do your customer value journey. So we sit you down and go, okay, what are we doing here? So the first part of the journey is awareness. And that's what we help with. We want to help get your brand seen and heard and everybody know about your brand. Okay. So awareness is the big thing. So ROI can get difficult because if we're just doing, social media content for you, if we're doing Google Business Profile, it's hard to quantify that. Although I have found a way with your Google Business Profile, we are running a grid report every 90 days. So I am able to show how you are ranking against your competition every 90 days. And then we are making adjustments on that. So, we want to be your partner and we come alongside with you and grow your business.
What are some of the you mentioned a little bit ago when people are kind of handing things off for the first time and they maybe just kind of give up on the process? Does that seem to be kind of coming from a fear of technology and just the not knowing portion, or do people seem to be more worried about messing things up worse than they already are?
Yeah, a little bit of both, I think.
Sure.
But yeah, tech, they're like, oh, I'm not on social media, so I don't want to post on it. Or like with Google, really what I've run across is people, once they figure out their email, which one it is that they log in with, they're not verified, and they're just, and they don't understand the power of the Google Business Profile because Google keeps adding more power to it. So
Right.
it used to be called Google My Business. They have switched the name to Google Business Profile, I believe, because they want it to be perceived more as a social media profile. So people just don't understand the power and understand the marketing. So once we sit down with them and go through it, it's easy.
Pixel Fire's main focus is the Omaha area, and you talked about running your business on the side from Omaha, but still based out of LA. What are some of the hurdles of working basically for yourself, 1,000 miles away from your business? But what are some of the benefits of technology and doing it in 2024?
Well, COVID helped a lot.
Sure.
Because LA, when COVID happened, we were completely shut down. We couldn't do anything. So really, everybody had to work from home. So when I moved here, I needed to be closer to family. So I moved here, and my clients understand that. So it takes the personal touch. It does take the personal relationship. I've known a lot of these people for 20 years. So yeah, technology has helped a lot, and technology is great, but it's also very important to remember to keep picking up that phone and actually talking to people. So that's something I've kept in my mind here, that yeah, okay, yeah, they're 2 hours behind and 1,000 miles away, but pick up the phone and call them. And that goes with the people here in Omaha too. I think we just, after a while, I've seen different phases of companies. It's like I've seen the ones that have just started and they're out there hustling and they're meeting everybody and they're networking and they're doing all this and that. And then you get to about 5 years and you slow down a little bit because now you're getting the referrals and now you're getting the people that are automatically coming in. And you kind of forget to go talk to people, So, and then especially at 10 years, you get very comfortable and almost have to go like, what was it that made me successful in the beginning?
Yeah.
So
We're catching up with the Google gal, Courtney Murdoch, here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing inside the Pyramid Contractor Studio. I want to take a look at not the 5 years, not at the 10-year mark. I want to take a look at day one. If somebody's an entrepreneur and they're thinking about launching their business today, what 1, 2, or 3 pieces of advice would you give to somebody that's opening the doors of their business today to make sure that the blocks are in place that could establish a foundation for their company?
Good question. Definitely get your Google Business Profile started. Make sure it gets verified, and then make sure you have your social media presence. So think about where your people are. Where is your ideal customer? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Are you more B2B? So you want to make sure that you're on LinkedIn. You just really need to think of where your ideal customers are and make sure you are there and make sure you have a profile on all of those platforms. And then, of course, website.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Third one, that's 1, 2, 3. So Google Business Profile, social media, and then websites. And if you want to make it your own, great, do it. But we also have launched these pre-made websites that we have for certain industries where we've made the entry point very easy and very cost effective. So, if you are a new business, we have many different ways we can help.
If And we've talked to different business owners and nonprofits over the last couple of months here on this podcast. What are some of the differences you see when working with an S corp, an LLC, established businesses versus working with a nonprofit? And how do you guys handle that, if in any way, differently?
Yeah. Well, they're totally different audiences.
Sure.
So, but we approach it the same. We want to make sure that people are aware of you. And then we want to make sure people are engaging with you. And then we want to make sure that there is something that they can subscribe to. So those are the first three parts of the customer value journey. So, for any industry, including nonprofits. So it's very important to make sure that they know who you are. So that's, of course, getting out on social media, your Google business profile, and then, making sure that people can engage with something as well.
If there's somebody out there that is possibly, looking at doing this line of work, specifically helping in marketing, not necessarily maybe starting their own business, but getting into the marketing side of the business, what has been some of the struggles for you in this industry, and what advice would you give that person if they're looking at helping kind of take over the design of a business?
For marketing,
Yeah.
what would somebody do if they want to get into marketing?
Other than telling them not to.
No, it's difficult. I mean, I saw this with photography. Okay. I'm going to just, so 20 years ago when I started shooting photography for real estate, digital cameras were a new thing. And the camera I had 4 megapixels, right? Which is,
Not
now
great.
our phones have 32.
Yeah.
So, and nobody was really doing it back then.
Yeah.
Now everybody has a camera. Everybody has a cell phone. Everybody has, everybody thinks they're an influencer. So there's many, many more players in the game. So I think this goes with any business you start as well. You just need to show what you are an authority in and stay in your lane. Just stay in your lane. So I think that's what's cool about me partnering with Pixelfire is my lane is Google,
Yeah.
right? And I have become an expert in Google business profiles. So I can say without a doubt that Pixelfire is probably the only one here in town and the region that truly understands the Google business profile and the power of it and how it is the most unutilized part of your marketing plan.
We're catching up with Courtney Murdoch for Pixelfire Marketing here. If somebody wanted to get a hold of you personally and talk to you about the next step and signing up for a GBP update, how can they do that?
They can email me, googlegal@pixelfiremarketing.com. My phone number is 402-988-1074. And yeah, we do this all across the country. We are based here in Omaha, but we are helping businesses all across the country. And the Google Business Profile Audit, we have that available for very low price. And we'd love to help you out.
This is a great question that comes in on YouTube from Eric. Eric asked, I believe that I'm not getting my Google reviews on my profile. How do you guys handle that? And can you help with that?
Yes, that's a good one. So Google reviews, those are tricky. So yeah, we love to think that every review somebody leaves gets to your Google business profile, but there are cases where they are not. So the best thing to do is to have that person send you a screenshot of it. And that way you can then go onto your Google business profile and there's a way you can report it and say that you're not getting that review. I have gone to bat for a couple of our clients. And when I did say, hey, this is the review that was missing, they come back and say, great, we've reinstated that and we found 5 more. So that's not the only one missing. So, but you can get it done.
Tasha on LinkedIn wants to know if I'm looking at doing social media marketing, what are some of the benefits of doing social media marketing and how has it helped previous Pixelfire customers?
Previous Pixelfire customers. So social media is important to do. We always say you are the best person to do your own social media. We step in when you start having issues with time or consistency. So you want to make sure that you're consistently posting, whether, and again, it depends on your industry, 1, 3, 5 times a week, but you want it to be consistent. And if you cannot meet that consistency part, that's where we step in, and we'd love to help.
You can head over to pixelfiremarketing.com. It's scrolling across the bottom of your screen. 43 5-star reviews. That doesn't happen by accident. Courtney gave you all of her contact. If you need help with your Google business profile, she'd be more than happy to, and is the expert in the Omaha area. Courtney, I appreciate you taking time and dealing with our technical difficulties today to get this done. And I don't know if it's you, but we reached an all-time high for live attendance. Over 4,800 people joined us today. So thank you for making us a part of your morning here. And hopefully you learned something that could benefit your business today. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing inside the Pyramid Contractor Studio.